My name is Klaus. John Wick Chapter 4 released this past weekend in 2023 and is directed by Chad Stahelski, who is a big stunt fight coordinator and has directed all of the previous John Wick films. And of course, this movie is starring the legendary Keanu Reeves, Donnie Yen, Lawrence Fishburne, Hiroki Sanada, Shamir Anderson, the late Lance Reddick, Rina Sawayama, Scott Adkins, Ian McShane, and Bill Skarsgård. Satisfying, of course, the rule in order for it to be considered a film needs to have at least one Skarsgård in it, so this movie actually exists. At the end of John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, John Wick has vowed to take out all of the members of the High Table. And at the start of this movie, John is doing exactly that. However, the High Table is planning on fighting back against John Wick, so senior High Table member Marquis Vincent de Gaumont enlists a bunch of forces and highly trained assassins to try to take down Mr. Vick. And the movie kind of becomes, and I don't want to say it's a straight reboot, but it's definitely influenced by the Man with No Name trilogy, in particular The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which if you've watched my review on this channel know I'm not a big fan of that movie, but I do like the triangular structure between these three high characters, and we have the same thing going on here. We of course have John Wick, played by Keanu Reeves, who is just badass in every single way. I saw today a video of him carrying up like sound equipment for the technicians for this movie up those flight of stairs when, you know, he's such a big star, he doesn't have to do that. And there he was, just doing it. He is so freaking cool. We have Donnie Yen, who plays Kane, who is a former friend of John Wick, and he is blind, and he is a total badass when it comes to his stick, and when it comes to his martial arts capabilities. And we have Shamir Anderson playing Mr. Nobody, who is this tracker who kind of seems like in flux. He's not aligned to one particular party, he's not aligned to the High Table, he's not aligned to John Wick, he's just there for a paycheck. He also has an adorable, I believe it's a German Shepherd, I don't care, it's a little tiny puppy who follows him around and who takes out all the bad guys when he says, go attack their balls. He's a puppy man, so I like him, I enjoy him. Now I will be honest, in the first couple minutes of this movie I got a little scared and I got a little hesitant about it because it seemed like John Wick wasn't going to be doing a lot of fighting, or at least wasn't going to be doing a lot of his stunts. We were getting a lot of fight scenes with Donnie Yen and Hiroki Sanada, and I was like, okay, is this the point in the franchise where our main star is getting a little old and they're not going to be doing as many fight scenes as they were in the previous installments, so you hire in a bunch of other actors or professionals or younger stars to do all the fight scenes? That's typically what happens in action franchises like this. But then all of a sudden we get an amazing fight scene with Keanu Reeves, John Wick, with nunchucks, and he's taking out everybody. It brought out the inner Ninja Turtle fan in me, and I just took a nice little sigh of relaxation, like, okay, no, this is still John Wick's movie, he is still a frickin' badass, look at him go! It's very rare that you get any franchise, let alone an action franchise, where every single installment could be considered the best installment of the entire franchise. There are many fans of the first one, there are some fans of the second, the third, and from what I'm hearing, and I can be included in that as well, I am a huge fan of Chapter 4. This is a long movie, it's 2.5 hours. I heard that there's like a 3-hour cut of this movie originally, so maybe we'll be getting that when it comes out on 4K or Blu-ray. But it's an epic piece. It is an epic action film that is not all action. There are many slow and intimate and personal scenes in here where a character is just sitting down on stairs looking at a beautiful sunset, and just from no dialogue at all tells us so much about the character and where they're at in their life. The technical aspects, the lighting choices in here, and how they re-emphasize how the characters are feeling is beautiful. It is gorgeous. There was a scene on here in the subway or on this train where John Wick is talking with Akira, and you can tell that they're just both enraged, especially Akira after what just happened. And the entire subway, all the lights just turned to red, and just feeling that malice and that anger build up inside of them and how that was just reinforcing it. Oh, I love it. I love technical aspects like this. This movie's so freaking good. Not to mention the greatest character in the entire movie is Klaus, because of course he walks around beating people up saying, my name is Klaus, and that was it. I love him so much. And really, he was desperately needed. That comedic, that little piece of levity in this long-ass, very serious, and really hard movie. Sometimes you need just those breaks, those release of tension, and Klaus was one of them. I want Klaus to come back for all of the other John Wick films. Bill Skarsgård plays the main villain of this film, the senior member of the High Table, and just like all the other characters, when you see this younger guy come in who has this title of authority and all of this power, you want to just slap him across the face, or you're just gonna be like this entitled little son of a bitch. And yes, he is entitled and he's a privileged little fuck, but he's also very menacing and does some terrible and awful things in here. He's definitely a worthy villain, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty, unlike the villain from Chapter 2, who I forget his name, and we don't care. He was just a son of a bitch and deserved everything he got. I think it's a little hard for Keanu Reeves to be the standout of this franchise, just because he is the franchise. If the franchise is him, how can he be the standout? So I would say that the standout of this movie is definitely Donnie Yen. The man is just a martial arts legend, especially when it comes to cinema and films. And here he is again, being a total badass, being a blind man again. He's just perfect at being a blind man in any film that he's in. And I love his relationship with John Wick. These two, how they're going back and forth between each other. You get the reason why Kane is going after him, but you get the sense of camaraderie and how these two are just deeply suited friends and don't want to be doing this. He's so good. He's such a great character, and I want to see spin-offs of this character. Just call it Kane. Kane 1, Kane 2, Kane 3. I don't care. I want to see this character more. Ian McShane, Lawrence Fishburne are always fantastic in these films. And then, of course, there's, the amazing performance from Lance Reddick, who I've loved in the entire John Wick franchise up to this point. And here he is, and I believe this is his final performance, so to see him on screen again, it's always weird as an audience member seeing someone posthumously in a film, and it's just like, God, there he is. There's the last little piece of him and his soul that's recorded, and it's out there in the world for everyone to see. It's a beautiful thing about film, I think, and the recording process, how you are leaving behind a legacy that is recorded that other people can see. And I think it's beautiful. I think he is a beautiful man, and he is a beautiful soul, and it was nice to see his final performance here, even though what happens in the movie, it was a little jarring seeing that happen and then what actually happened in real life. Like, wow. Okay, that hit hard. If I had to give any black mark on this film, was the fight scene in the party building, the rave building. Everyone's just dancing, there's waterfalls around, and everyone's just doing all of their white people dancing, and John Wick is taking out all these people. He's shooting guns, he's stabbing people, he's basically beating up everybody, and yet these people in the background are just like, yeah, we're at a rave, I don't care, there's John Wick, but whatever, I'm dancing with you, and you're awesome. There were points where some people stopped and were just watching the fighting, but the majority of people were just, they're probably just hopped up on drugs, and they're like, I may be seeing that, I don't know, but maybe we'll just keep going this way. It's just a party, man. That is a small little nitpick of a movie that I think is damn near perfect, and is one of the best films of the year. I don't see this getting out of my top 10 list of my favorite films of 2023. This is one of the best of the franchise. I could say it's my favorite of the franchise. It's still fresh. I don't want to say it's my favorite of the franchise so far, just because it's so brand new. I have to let it, linger a little bit and see if it still holds up, but as of now, it's fantastic. This is one of the best action franchises we have ever received in films. I don't know where it's going to go from here. I'm trying not to spoil what happens in this movie. I don't know where this franchise goes from here. All I know is that I want the franchise to keep on going. Please, find some way to keep this thing going. I beg of you. I'm going to give John Wick Chapter 4 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
So guys, if you've seen John Wick Chapter 4, what did you think about it? What is your ranking of all the John Wick films? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I'm releasing next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.